Well, that warning about the risks of inactivity comes as a survey from Halfords has suggested nearly half of people who own a bike never even ride it. And 1 in 10 adults have never even learned how to ride a cycle. So why do we buy bikes and then don't even use them? Well, one person who might have the answer is Laura Larker. She's the Guardian cycling writer. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. And Laura, what do you think is going on? We're spending good cash on these bikes. They're just sitting at home being used as maybe as wardrobes, in my case anyway.
Well, I think there are three main reasons why people are using their bikes. I think the first reason is simple mechanical problems with the bike. So someone might get a flat tyre and they don't know how to fix it. And that's quite easy to remedy. You can either go to your local bike shop, or there's the Big Bike Revival, which is an initiative that's happening this summer with a cycling charity, Cycling UK. And where you can go there and you can learn how to fix a bike yourself, and that can solve a lot of the issues, because sometimes the bike can just lay in your shed for ages just with a flat tyre. Second reason is because people might not know the safe cycling routes around them. They might look at the roads and think, well, that's not very appealing. I don't feel like getting out on the bike and sort of dealing with all the traffic. And most people, I think half of the UK population, live very close to the National Cycle Network. So check out the NCN and see where the routes are near you. There's some really good routes around the UK. But there's also a lot of gaps in the National Cycle Network in the UK, which leads me to my third and most important point, which is that most people are frankly too afraid to cycle on the roads. And that's an issue that we need to tackle in this country. There's a great sort of misperception of risk. It's not actually that dangerous. It's as safe walking around as it is cycling. But of course, when you're sharing with the traffic on the roads, it doesn't feel safe. It's not particularly appealing. You might not want to take your kids out on the roads. So what we need to see really is sort of investment from government in cycling infrastructure. At the moment, they're spending £15 billion on roads in the next sort of 5 years, and we know that just increases congestion. We've heard these problems now with inactivity being as dangerous as smoking. So we really need to sort of get those cycle routes in so that more people can ride their bikes. I just came in this morning on cycle superhighways. I live in East London, and I rode miles this morning in the sunshine. It was beautiful. There was women cycling, older people cycling, and students cycling to university, and it was just brilliant. And I think that more people should be given access to those cycle routes.
Yeah, on that note, what can people be doing, or what should people be doing to get on their bikes? The motivation's obviously there. There are lots of people going out buying bikes, but how do you turn that to actually making it part of your everyday lifestyle, part of your that activity that you carry out every day, particularly to fight against that warning, as you mentioned, that it could be as bad for you sitting around not doing anything than smoking? What are the steps people should take?
Well, according to this Halfords survey, 1 in 10 people don't know how to ride a bike. So you can learn how to ride a bike. You can go to your local council, and quite often they'll actually offer free cycle training. And it's great, even if you can cycle, but you maybe haven't cycled for a long time and you're not quite sure, you maybe feel a bit wobbly, you're not sure about sharing with traffic. So that's a great confidence booster. I did it myself a few years ago. It was great even for me as an experienced cyclist. I would say the routes that you would take cycling are not the same routes that you would take driving. So there are sort of back street routes that you can take. So you can check out the National Cycle Network, maybe explore. If you know someone that cycles, they might be able to show you good cycle routes in your area. And then if there aren't cycle routes, I would say write to your MP, write to your councillor. We should be having these options for healthy and active travel, and the government needs to be providing that, and councils should be enabled to provide that with funding. So.
Okay, I didn't know local councils offered free bike riding classes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll take my clothes off the bike and get on it for once. I'm Laura Larker,
Yes.
cycling writer at The Guardian. Thanks so much.
Thank you.